Isn't high grade not on track? Which is strange, considering you want to be out as early as possible.
Hello everybody and welcome back to CRC Tier 2. This is CRC and honestly we're here at Sugo. It's a little bit rainy, to say the least. We have Jake Wilson alongside us, racing at home. His monitor is not working the way it should, so he's going to be joining us in the commentary booth today. How are you doing?
Oh, I could be much better. I mean, I won this race 2 seasons ago when we were last year. I like the rain, and it could have been a fun race, but fortunately, I'm sat here because my TV has decided to stop turning on.
That's unfortunate. However, we have 9 drivers here today, and looking at the field, looks very, very competitive. We have 9 drivers, like we said. Our championship points leader by 12 points. Blizzard is arrived barely on time this time, so Blizzard is ahead by 12 points, but right behind him is a man on a mission, Agulator. He's been gaining on podiums ever since, I think it's been Le Mans. Since he got his first podium?
DNF at Le Mans, he had a DNF at Le Mans and he's had a...
Yeah. So...
yeah. See, Alan, do your research.
Anyway,
people have done lap times. Bart now tops the times with a 27.2. 8 tenths out of Chaos. Now Flaky goes top with a 27 dead and even 26.5.
Yeah. Okay, so the stream is up. I just wanted to make sure. So the stream is up. We are all doing good. And yeah, do you have any expectations headed into this race? Like, do you expect anyone to either pit midway through or... because the qualifying's a little bit shorter, so these drivers may not have enough practice to learn the track a little bit, but we're looking with Evil now. Right now, he's a man on a mission, a 26.5. He's slinging that Lamborghini back and forth, but do you think he could play a factor today when the championship standings go through?
Oh, he could absolutely play a factor. I mean, the McLaren cars are historically good in the rain. I mean, Evil's a good driver as well, so it could go anywhere. Did Evil do it? I don't think Evil did Nürburgring. So we don't know about his pace in the wet. Some others didn't do Nürburgring either. That's annoying. Such as Bart actually hasn't got a podium yet.
You pointed that out. He is solidly in the championship, I think, with almost double digits. Today could be a double-digit day for Bart, hitting that tally in the points championship. 27.2 the time is. That's fairly consistent. That should get him a top 5 in qualifying, but for Bart, his hope is to finish the race all in one piece. I think, what was it?
Goes second.
Yeah, Agulator. Good time indeed at 26.5, and it's 500s off.
Yeah, only half a tenth off. I mean, they'll struggle to improve by the end of the session as the rain gets worse. The same happened in Indianapolis in the first season, the second race actually. I mean, I struggled to improve after making a mistake in the early laps.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be the whole lap, it could just be a single sector.
Yeah, I was going to point out... Yeah, I was going to point out familiar story. I'm happy you brought up Indy Season 1 Race 2 because despite... That was all rain. This is rain back and forth with ever-changing dry and wet conditions. It was a sort of, I would say, strategy between pitting or to not pit. Today, we bring ourselves to that same issue. Many people are saying that they're going to stay out. However, some people that really struggle with tire wear, they plan on pitting midway through, and they usually gain a lot of the time back. However, these last 5 to 10 minutes, when the track in the race with 5 to 10 minutes left, it really dries up. It really burns through those tires. Do you think, pitting may be the right call? Or, I mean, since you were supposed to be racing today, you sort of had a plan.
I didn't actually have a plan for this. I hadn't done much practice. I had planned to do my practice in the late week, as I normally do. Ooh, my voice is going to sound weird. Yeah, see, I had a look at the slots and I thought, I'm going to just stick it out on the wets in the second part of the race. Because, just like the Nürburgring, they didn't actually wear that much. Stick it out until the end. And then make a judgment call when the track actually drives near the end of the race, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Sugo is a lot different. Back in Season 1, even on dry conditions in the GTEs, I mean, I remember some people pitted, and this track is known for, burning up those tires, especially that final corner. A lot of understeer, those left sides. Man, you're just killing them through those corners. So I wasn't entirely sure what drivers had in mind today for this race. While we have 3 minutes left, a lot of these guys are trying to run low fuel, try and set good laps early, while the track is as less wet as possible. Now the water's starting to form up on the track. You can see some puddles out there. And if any time start to go up there on the board, I'd be quite surprised, because honestly, I don't see anyone else improving right now. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I mean, Angulators improved recently, but I'm not so sure about people improving from this point on. I mean, unless they had a difficult lap, they'll improve somewhat, but other than that, I'm not so sure. Blizzard, I mean, he's down in 8th at the moment. He's struggled in the last 2 races. Especially, he's lost a lot in the championship. Actually, he's just improved to a 29th 6th. That's only 1 place ahead of high grade.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a crucial race for Blizzard in the championship, so I could pull up in the championship standings in just a minute, but the past, I think, 5 to 6 races, ever since his last win, he has been losing points to Agulator. Ever since his last win, Agulator has been outscoring him every single race, even had a win in Monza, and with a couple laps to go, he binned the car in Lesmo 1 and gave the win to Agulator. His only win of the season, by the way. And funny enough, Agulator may have a chance to win this championship, but he's only led 2 laps this season. I find that quite interesting.
Wow. I mean, Bart had those issues at Monza, so that will give you a reason why Agulator only led so little laps of a win. But had a win, but other than that, it's normally a surprise. I mean, he's had the pace recently, and he's currently on pole position, so I expect he's going to increase his laps led at the very least. I mean, touch wood that he doesn't have an issue at turn 1, otherwise he is not going to like me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just going to come down to the fate of it, really. I mean, let me see if I can pull up the championship standings. I really want to see what happened, but even the last couple of races...
Every single race since...
Yeah, something happens. I mean, last week in Fuji, he was in top 3, and he binned the car on one of the widest tracks on the circuit, which I thought was quite interesting. A couple times, just Fuji did not go to the McLaren's liking at all. And I think he saw it in Tier 1 as well with Speedster. Speedster did do fairly well with the McLaren, however... Yeah.
The McLaren won last season in Fuji, so...
Yeah, the McLaren won in Season 3.
Very good car overall, but... I mean, there are some better cars. The car's very stable from what I've heard from other drivers, especially those who've driven McLaren last season and won the championship with it.
So we're still looking with Blizzard now. Less than a minute left. 21 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. So this will be their last time out. And honestly, that gap, it's way too far back. I mean, you'd be thinking for a tow. Even in these conditions, I don't think it'd matter that much. But luckily, Blizzard is quite farther away from Flaky. But they are on their final laps now. What about Agulator? Agulator's in the pits.
I mean, I think we'll see a few more people do the same in Tier 1 because they're going to go out and get their laps in early, like I did at Nürburgring in Season 1 as well. Really loose on the exit as he touches the grass there at the final corner.
Yep, Evil's off.
Just pulls into the pits.
That's actually Matt that Blizzard is behind right now, not Flaky. So Matt.
I mean, the cars do look very similar, to be fair.
Yeah. So, 7th. It's quite interesting.
Oh, he's stopped because he's running very limited on fuel.
I think we're just waiting at high grade, is it? I don't think so.
Yeah, it looks like high grade is. Yeah, he's on the lap, he misses the apex there, and that's an annoying camera.
So other than high grade, we'll see.
There goes one over. He goes off, that's not going to go well. I mean, he's probably not expecting to improve. I think he's just getting a feel for the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect that. We have Crusher joining us in the chat, saying, I am here for the strategy, so,
Yeah, so I'm gonna see, I'd start on slicks.
Yeah.
When the rain stops, I'm gonna pick for wets, then I'm gonna pick for the snow tyres when it starts up again. And when the rain stops again, I'm gonna go back onto wets. That's my strategy.
Oh my goodness, so...
Sector times, actually, so
yeah, good times.
A fair way off in Sector 1.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'll say Agulator's on pole. Bart decided to flick that one very quickly, but Evil joins him alongside in second.
Yeah, I mean, he went wide of the last corner, but...
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be faster anyway. The tracks just looked too wet at the end.
Yeah. Alright, so let me see through the...
goes from his qualifying position.
Yeah. Should be good now. Honestly, if we can get going now, this race will finish exactly at 30, which is
Nice.
very good.
Might be able to stick to the whole race then.
I mean, maybe to the last 2 laps, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because it usually runs over, and this part takes some time too.
Yep. I mean, hopefully I don't catch Bart by leaving the lobby or something.
Yeah.
Or especially Bart, I don't want to...
So we also have A-Tracing Green joining us in the comments as well. They're just looking to see what to do. Honestly, we should have put the Tier 1 guys on first. You know, have them put on a show. Help the Tier 2 guys out.
I don't know, I mean, some of these guys will want to run Tier 2, so maybe not so much. I think I'd rather run the Tier 2 race first.
So here's a fun fact. This is Agulator's first pole.
Wow. I'm surprised, actually. I mean, he's been quick for, podium since Le Mans. I mean, the Porsche's quick on the straights as well. Yeah. I'd expected some
Blizzard,
more.
I just noticed Blizzard has 6 pole positions. I think 5 fastest laps this season. Agulator has nothing. He has a win. He has a bunch of podiums, a win, no fast lap, no pole. It's all down to race pace. And even then, he's not even the quickest on track. It's all about being, right place at the right time. And I think Agulator today could really, really shine if he can just pull away from Evil at the start. I suspect Sector 1, sort of the quote-unquote stadium section, to be a little bit tricky on these guys, but let's see. And we're green in Sugo.
Oh, that was a great start from Agulator. Wow.
I'm not sure if that was a jump start or not.
I feel like that was a jump. Yeah, that's a massive lead into turn 1.
No penalty. I'm not sure if it shows up or not. To be fair, when you got a jump start, it didn't show up either, but Agulator's away.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about it. I feel like that's a jump start. Because that looked like someone on
Chaos is off.
The wall. I mean, it's a slight tap. Maybe you'll get away with it, or at least manage the damage as Flaky passes Bart there into the chicane. That's a difficult place to pass, to be fair.
Single file so far. Evil's fallen back. Couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean, after that start, anyone would have fallen back, to be honest. I wonder if we're going to see Agulator in the pit soon just to serve his drive-through.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It just doesn't look right. Yeah, too good a start to me.
I don't know, maybe he timed it. I think maybe he spun the tires. I mean, a lot of people can spin the tires in these conditions, so I'm not entirely sure. You have Matt back here almost running wide.
I mean, if he doesn't have a drive-through, wow, that was a great start, but I'm not so sure. I mean, I had a massive gain at Le Mans, and that was when I had my drive-through.
I was going to say, 43 minutes left through this first lap. Roughly a 2-minute lap, almost Bart losing it.
Oh, spin there for Blizzard.
Oh!
That's not good for him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's losing a fair amount of time. At this rate, he'll lose the championship lead to Agulator.
Yeah. Then again, that is assuming Agulator does not have a drive-through.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying at this point.
Good battle here for 7th and 6th.
Yep. Yeah, Mace fighting high grade. I think I looked like he was going to go on for a moment.
We're now looking for Evil.
Maybe it was just a camera thing.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't hit Blizzard at all when he spun. That was in a tricky part of the track where understeer is key in that final corner. And, yeah, I'm quite surprised they missed him.
Yeah, you're really on the limit through that final corner, especially. Just a massively difficult corner. It's like a roller coaster in a way. You're just along for the ride.
One car off in the background. Think it's high grade, is it? No, it was Maze.
No, it would have been Maze because he's just been passed. Have a look. Look under the lap times onto lap 3. Ooh, you made some escape there.
Best lap so far, yeah, 33. Coming to the end of the second lap.
Lap 1. It's interesting. I mean, if Agulator's pulling away, that driver might not have too much of an impact. Or if he makes the right calls. That's going to be important as well. 29.5 for Agulator, Evil with a 29.5, Flaky with a 29.3, Matt with a 28.8, that's fastest lap so far.
So I'd like to point out one of the reasons why this race is contested of some people watching that are from Tier 1 is because, like I mentioned in qualifying, not many people know what to do for tire wear, whether or not to pit and slow exit for Evil.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I think somebody already retired, and that was Chaos.
Oh, yeah, someone has retired, yeah. I mean, he hit the wall on that one. With this race, I just stuck around, especially in this race. The 100% chance to points if you finish, but that's a shame.
Yeah, but I was going to say, what many people are trying to figure out for today, whether or not to pit. This track is known for tire wear, and the wet conditions, it is even worse. So, when I was testing earlier today with Flaky and Nissim, we found out that...
It goes wide there.
Yeah. Yep, James commenting conditions look pretty bad. So, yeah.
Yep, the conditions are pretty bad, but they'll dry up in the short term.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing, when the conditions... Yeah, when the conditions...
We'll find out what people do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when the conditions dry out, what'll happen is these tires will start to heat up a little bit, try and warm up, which is not what the drivers need. It'll obviously increase the tire wear, especially through that final corner. It won't even kick back that car. It'll just burn them up. And by the time you're thinking of pitting, whether or not to go to, you know, another set of full wets, repair any damage you may have gotten from the start, which will be another second or two. You know, that's maybe if you spun on the opening lap, and maybe ideal for you to pit. Maybe, maybe not, but, yeah, but I remember seeing from Crusher's screenshot from Tier 1, oh, Evil's run wide.
Oh, Evil's gone wide, and it's passed by Blake there, just a second. Faster than Agulate, both of them were faster than, I don't know, that was a 28.5, not a 29.5.
You may want to turn up your mic there a little bit, Jake.
We went a bit closer then.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, and Evil may have a chance back.
Yep, Flaky ran a little bit wide, got onto the curb. You don't want to get onto the curb in these conditions.
Yeah. Okay, this part is very notorious for locking up the brakes in the wet conditions.
Are fighting close. Flaky and Matt.
Be idiotic to go for a move.
Back out.
Yeah.
It's not completely idiotic. I mean, in the IndyCar, it'll be crazy because they're going so quickly.
I mean, I'm just saying in these conditions.
Yeah. These conditions, you probably have more of a chance for making that move work because it's a slower corner.
Yeah.
Flaky looking good through that final corner compared to Evil. It looked like for a moment. No, it was just the middle part. The early part, he had a good run.
Oh. It's letting him by.
Okay.
Team orders,
maybe?
maybe?
Felt he's faster. Yeah. I mean, Flaky could have felt himself that he's faster as well.
I mean, Matt is third in the championship. He's only 13 points behind Agulator.
Yep. I mean, the championship's definitely wide open in this series. We will look at the apex there, like you understood a bit. But from this on board, they don't seem to be attacking the curbs as much as I thought, though. In the dry, you'd be able to massively, but maybe they're just not feeling that in these conditions.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like maybe as the race progresses on, people start to, like, develop their lines. Maybe when... You definitely will see lines change as we transform into drier conditions. The track is still a little damp, but not completely wet. People will be trying to find the wet part of the track while they still have their wet tires on.
Off. He's passed by Matt there. Might be passed by Flaky if... No, he doesn't go for that. I mean, the McLaren's not that fast down the straight. In these conditions, it'll be helped. Oh, it's Flaky goes off as well.
It's one corner Flaky was struggling with in practice. I'm not surprised, but hopefully that McLaren can hang on through that last sector. It's very treacherous, definitely heading uphill.
To be fair, it's a very difficult corner, and
yeah.
in all honesty, it's one of my least favourite corners on the circuit. It's very important heading into the final corner. Especially in higher downforce cars like we're going to see over the next season with the IndyCar and the LMP3.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we check up on everyone else in the grid? Everyone else putting up a good gap, but Agulator pulling up a lead, and he's led the most laps this race out of his entire season. You know, we were just saying he led 2 laps so far this season, and that's it, and now he's dominating the race so far. Don't want to jinx him.
I mean, there is that potential drive-through if we got that right.
I think it would have disqualified him by now.
No, it wouldn't have disqualified him. You could go forever. You could basically pit on the last lap in this game. That was my plan for Le Mans but I got
Oh,
contact.
defending!
Matt hit the curb and ran wide on the apex. That allowed Evil to get a run. Is he going to get past? Yes, he does.
Oh.
No, he's not on the. He's on the outside. Matt sticks it in, and McLaren's through.
Good job, yeah. I was gonna say that's usually what I would do when I defend. Just go off. I know he's gonna cover the inside, so I just had to go there like ASAP.
To be fair, with your defender, you would have had much more contact anyway. Oh, nope. I thought Evil was going to have a little dive down the inside there, but no. I mean, that was never going to work.
Yeah, that would have ruined their exit speed. I thought then Flaky would have been right on the back of both of them.
Yeah, completely.
So they're taking different lines down the straight, obviously to avoid any type of spray getting from on that windshield. I know some guys run cockpit, for example, I know Spencer and Emmanuel do. So, for example, when they're running in cockpit, even when it stops raining, you could still get spray in your windshield. You have to keep the wiper on.
Yeah, with the slow speed of this track, it's not actually as bad. I mean, there's rumours for Monza having rain next season, so that'll be a worse issue because of the higher speed, and the spray will just be more of an issue as it will travel further.
Yeah, Monza at night with rain, that'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, I enjoy the variety of conditions you can have here.
Yeah. If only one day we have a snow race. No, I'm kidding.
No. I mean, you're trying to get carbs in. Anyway, let's focus on the race. Yeah, look at Blizzard's. Oh, Evil got wide. Oh, he got something happened under braking there. Lamborghini's historically unstable under braking for some. That's why they're not driving it. But Evil chose this car. Maybe he should have stuck with the Ferrari.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, I thought the Ferrari would have been ideal for these conditions. The Professionals Ferrari ended up winning Nürburgring in dreadful wet conditions. So I wasn't entirely sure. And even last season at Brno, McToasty got a win with his Ferrari in monsoon-like conditions. So I thought the Ferrari would have been the okay to go today, but guess not.
Yep. I mean, we'll find that more on that story in Tier 1, to be honest, with the Bulldog Racing teams. Hit the curve quite hard there and run wide. Yeah, the Bulldog Racing team's Ferraris will be interesting for Tier 1, but that's a story for them.
Yeah.
Which you will hopefully see in your rearview mirrors.
We actually have a battle going on right here between Blizzard and Maze.
Yeah, Blizzard's fighting with Maze at the moment. He's regulator with a 27.9. Maybe, yeah, the track's definitely drying up. It looks brighter now.
Almost had the switch back there. Just.
Yep. I mean, Blizzard, looking at the lap times, he's actually had the pace of the front few guys, but his qualifying just didn't end well, and then he spun in the final corner in the early laps. Here's a bit of the exit curve there, that's interesting.
And the exit grass.
It gets a little bit loose.
I'm quite interested to see whether or not, you know, locking up plays a huge role here. I know it really affects the tires, and Blizzard may have a move up the inside. He has the nose.
Look up the inside, that's a good move.
Good move, yeah.
Yep. I mean, we talked about how that was going to be a difficult corner in other cars, in other conditions, but in these conditions, they're going slower, and there'll be a bigger speed difference.
So good move for position. I know High Grade and Bart were close. I'm not sure what happened to extend the gap. Let's see. Is anyone close here? I don't think so.
No, it looks to be a pretty spread out gap on the field at the moment.
So as the championship stands, I was going to say 6 points. Oh.
Yeah, Agulator will lead the championship at the moment, as it stands.
Yeah, 6 points to 25, 19 points of a difference, and only a 12-point lead. So yep, to Agulator.
Yeah, going into the final 2 rounds at Long Beach and Bathurst, anything can happen.
Yeah. So we have 32 minutes left in this race, and we have 32 minutes left till Tier 1.
Yep.
It's running on time. I think what will happen is that last lap it'll extend on for time.
I mean, it's a short track anyway, plus it's going to dry up, so it won't be that much of an issue. If it was like the Nordschleife on Le Mans, maybe, but it'll be fine.
All right, let's go through. Let's do a little recap so far. So we got Agulator leading. He was just coming from the inside lane on the straight. I really think he's already trying to pick up some of those wet conditions that are closer to the barrier there on the inside. Sort of the track is starting to dry up. So Agulator's leading.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to want to keep his tyres intact, and I think we're going to see that for a while, to be honest.
I say you're seeing barely any spray, so he's definitely trying to find the damp part of the track.
Yeah, he's staying away from the outside of the track there as well. So I think he's planning on not pitting. I mean, he's leading as well, so he wouldn't want to throw away a gap. He's not even using the exit curb there.
Yeah, yep, sticking to the inside, trying to pick up the spray, which he's doing now.
Yeah, there's definitely still spray offline, which is great for them.
Something I noticed there, did you see with, I'm on a right on board here. I see a lot of, did anyone spin in this corner or go off?
No, I haven't seen. I think they're just always there.
Really? I just saw like a lot of gravel or sand on the track there, so I wasn't sure if anyone went off. I know Evil went off there, but that was on the grass.
Yeah, that was on the left-hand side as well.
Yeah, I was referring to the left-hand side, the outside part of the corner.
It's possible.
Maybe from what Blizzard is doing right here, and now his next victim, by the way, is High Grade. He's managed a good gap, and he's starting to reel him in, and I honestly think in turn one, he could maybe put on a dive bomb to get it done. I mean, this corner, Blizzard really gets a lot of speed on that Mercedes, but...
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Blizzard's being quick here all race compared to these guys. I mean, we're not expecting them to be fast anyway, as they're normally at the back of the pack. It wasn't an insult, by the way. It was just how things are. Yeah, the Mercedes is good down the straights as well, so I'm not really expecting Blizzard at that point, but maybe in the next few laps.
Let me turn on the splits for you. There you go. Oh,
High Grade just got loose through turn 2, 3. Oh, and he's hit the puddle line, he's in the wall. That shouldn't be too much damage, and it'll be manageable.
I think he may end up hitting for a new set of wets.
Damage.
Yeah.
Let's see how his car handles for the foreseeable future, though.
Yep.
I mean, it didn't look like a huge kit, and I'd probably stick with the car.
What happened with Bart? Did he end up pitting?
I didn't see a pit notification.
I think he just spun, maybe.
Must have. He's lost a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And actually, Bart's not too far away from High Grade, so he'll be looking for an overtake in the next couple laps between them.
Yeah, I don't think he pitted because he's only 30 seconds behind, and he was already about 15. Yeah, Flaky looking for the water on the straight.
Say, quite interesting strategy.
Interesting to see Evil's not doing the same there.
Well, to be fair, Evil had minimal practice entering, and with a new car, I don't think he wants to risk anything in this race.
Yeah, that's completely fair, but you'd still want to go and search for the water in these conditions.
Flaky missed a shift there, if you could hear it.
Yeah, I saw him go wide, but I didn't hear the miss shift. That's a good spot. I mean, it's difficult to completely miss the shift in these gearboxes, but definitely do something with it.
Nice to see Crusher still watching. Yeah.
I mean, he'll want to see how these conditions are. They'll do the same in real life. They'll want to understand how the track is.
Yeah, I thought Crusher would have done a race trim or something.
I mean, Crusher's... Yeah, it's online slightly different in the sense as well, so you want to see how the car reacts, plus the track might react differently to the wet in online as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably doing it at the same time as well, to be fair.
So I do want to ask you a quick question. So, I mean, Blizzard has been really pushing his... Oh, never mind!
Oh, no!
Oh, well, that's...
Oh, that's not good for his championship.
Oh, that defeats my question.
That's a big hit.
I was going to ask, do you think he's going to gain and catch Evil, but I guess not.
Yeah, not with a broken rear wing or a broken rear suspension like that. He's
And
just
now,
going to have to pit.
yeah, now's the good time to pit for a new set of wets, fix the damage. I think even... Hold on. Did Agulator spin?
Oh, yeah, Agulator's around as well! Oh!
So two championship leaders both spun. Matt takes the lead. Matt is third in this championship.
Here we go.
This is even better. It may be a three-way fight.
Yeah, the McLaren looks like it's very stable. Then again, I'm probably going to curse it knowing the way this race has gone the last 30 seconds.
So yeah, Matt has been on a hot streak. Out of the last 3 races he has completed in, I think his average finish may be maybe second or 1.75. I mean, he's been fairly solid. 3 podiums in the last 3 starts. 2 of them are wins from Imola and Fuji.
Yeah, wins are great to get, especially at this stage of the season, but it looks like, oh no, that's...
And now that you have Flaky in second, your own teammate defending...
I can't see Blizzard on the timing screen either.
He must have just left.
He must have gone.
No points.
Oh dear. So at this stage, Agulator will only tie him now.
Yeah, and I just realized now, if Matt wins this race, he's going to tie Blizzard on points. Oh my goodness. 3-way tie.
Yeah, that's...
Shocking.
Shame this isn't the end of the season, so we can have another race.
Oh my goodness, we should have just take out Long Beach, take out Bathurst.
Yeah, the 3-way showdown, 45 minutes would be great fun.
Let's have a look with Bart, by the way. He's gaining on high grade.
Yeah, it's a shame Bart's had his issue earlier, and we didn't spot that. Actually, is that Bart or is that...
Yeah, this is Bart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the TLAs are horrible for these guys.
Yeah. So as this race runs right now, do you think like where everyone will finish, it'll be a 3-way tie for the championship? We have an off week for the drivers to rest, come back, and fight the last 2 weeks of this championship. That'll leave Long Beach and Bathurst. A lot of mentality it takes for these drivers to get around those tracks. Who do you think may have an upper advantage on the drivers?
I mean, the one who doesn't smash... Oh, Evil Pits!
Ooh.
Evil... That's interesting.
That's going to bring Agulator up to 3rd place, and that'll give him back the championship lead.
Not fun, Evil. Actually, he might pit for slicks and make this more interesting.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, that's right, Evil doesn't know the weather.
I mean, hold on. It looks like it's starting to rain again.
I'm not sure.
We'll find out when he comes out of the pits what tyres he's on, because if he's on slicks, he'll struggle in the wet exit.
Well, we'll see, yeah.
Yeah, that would be an interesting factor.
May's up to 4th.
Yeah, May's up to 4th. Good for him. See how Evils does. Yeah, because this pit exit won't be used at all. High grade's there as well, yeah. We'll see directly the difference between slicks and wets if he did decide to go on them.
We're quite intrigued to see.
See, the problem is at this part, it's starting to rain again, so I feel like he'd have just gone on to another set of wets.
Yeah, yeah. Smart move, I respect that.
I mean, if he went on to slicks, he'd have to come back in anyway and lose a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, not sure he'd be willing to do that, but then again, the likelier chance to spin on the slicks would really cost that time too, so they may have to if he was, but...
Yeah, he's got a lot of grip in this section, and you can clearly see the spray, so I don't think he went on slicks at all. That would have been a crazy move. Yeah, he's just passed Maze there, so yeah, I don't... Look pretty easy though, so maybe the tyres on the Lamborghini are struggling.
Yeah, I would expect a lot of tire wear on these cars, so maybe that could be it. I mean, the rain is still falling, the track is still wet, so maybe another set of wets. Evil figured it was time, and honestly, he only lost 1 spot. And looking at the timesheet, he has a lot of time to work up on Agulator. I mean, Agulator did spin in this race, so we'll see if it's actually worth it. I don't think it is worth it to pit, unless you really struggle in the long run with tire wear as well.
I mean, if Evil's much faster in the next few laps, there's nothing saying that that was the wrong decision.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I mean, driving through this final corner on wets in the dry conditions is just not going to be fun on the left front, and I think Evil probably found that and decided to pit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Be interesting to see if other guys decide to do the same in Tier 1.
Yeah. And honestly, now that I think about it, when Flaky let by Matt, I was quite shocked because I'm thinking, Matt is so far behind the championship, why would you do that? And now, 10 minutes later, he was tied for the championship lead. So yeah, it goes to show anything can happen.
Plus, he's pulled out for a 4-second gap, so they probably decide, you know what, let's go and let them go. Let them go, take the team points, but take the 1-2, and that's the most important thing today. Yeah, so he lost a bit of time there, or it's just the game timing being... the game timing?
Yeah. So, quick question so far. How do you say this race is? Like, if you were able to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, I'd put it a solid 6, 7. The suspense has been up there for some of the championship contenders.
Yeah, I'd say a 6 or 7 would be completely right. I mean, it's not been the most exciting race in terms of wheel-to-wheel action, but the story's been there, and the story's been developed. Plus, we've had the issues with Blizzard. That's been a great story to follow. I mean, not for him, obviously, but still something to follow here.
Yeah. Yeah, quite interesting. He stands at 152. He hasn't got points since Monza. And he missed Brno as a race. First race he missed this season. He then retired from Fuji, and now he retires from Sugo. And yeah, it brings up the question whether or not he's going to be able to hang on to this championship. I mean, like we said, he has not won since, by the way, the last rain race, which he ended up winning. So we thought he would be a factor in today's race. However, he just was not on the pace in Sugo. And his second season form for Blizzard, it's just been off the pace. And if you even compare it to last season with Blizzard, I mean, up in Donington, Blizzard was running 4th in Season 2, or even up to 2nd in the lead, and all of a sudden, towards the end of the season, he doesn't get any points. Is it just sort of a flaw, where the second part of the season he can't get points?
I mean, they're races anyway. I mean, you approach every single race the same way, and sometimes the luck goes your way, and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, now Evil's currently about 2 seconds a lap faster than Man, 3 seconds a lap faster than Flaky in these conditions, which is quite interesting.
Now, what about Agulator?
Especially than him, but yeah, I mean, the story's happening.
Yeah. And as the Tier 1 guys continue to look on, trying to see whether or not pitting was a safe bet, only one of them pitted, which was Evil, so we will see whether or not he can get by Agulator. And I wonder, if Evil does pass Agulator, how many people are we going to see pit in Tier 1?
I mean, I'm not so sure that we'll see more people pit because Evil...
We have a few Tier 1 drivers joining us.
Yeah, but I think they already have a plan, and I think they've already tried that. And they'll already know, I mean, the start of Nürburgring, I think the Mercedes cars struggled because we started on the wets and went through them in the dry conditions, and then near the end of the race we were caught.
I think we have a battle right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
I just saw the times.
Yeah,
I think he made him...
Agulator's now matching Evil. Actually, no, Evil's done 27.9. So he's still the fastest car on circuit. At this rate, Agulator will catch the lead guys in the next 5 laps. Evil, I mean, we've got 17 minutes left in this race. It's not completely out of the realms of possibility that Evil will catch them.
Yeah, I honestly don't see him.
So
yeah.
That might be completely pointless.
I don't know. I feel like pitting now as we say that, the time goes down less than, what is it, less than 17 minutes left, and he's still 30-something behind Matt. Obviously, he's not going to make the whole 30 seconds, but, you know, where the place he was in the order, he was 10-something seconds back from Matt, so you'd expect him to gain roughly 20-ish, mid to 20 seconds through the pit stop phase, which he lost. And honestly, it's going to come down to the last five minutes, because right now he shouldn't be gaining that much. When the rain stops, the track starts to dry. The last 5 to 10 minutes, Bart has, by the way, I think he's just trying to find the wet conditions maybe, but track's still wet. But you know, bring up the good point. Yeah,
but today you give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I was going to say, once this track dries, once the rain stops, these last 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to tear apart those, you know, tires that have not been changed since the beginning of the race. So the point of the matter is, Evil is going to have to capitalize on the last 5 to 10 minutes, not spin. He needs to be perfect if he does want to gain. Because when we have 5 to 10 minutes left, if he's still 15 to 20 seconds behind Agulator, that's totally fine. That's expected with these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Evil is currently the fastest car on circuit by about a second on that last lap. I mean, if the front three decide to pit, I don't think Evil will decide to be honest. Nobody's got any penalties, it looks like.
Yeah, best lap, by the way, for Matt.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything at this stage, for there's stories of there being a point for fastest lap for the next season.
And that was not confirmed or released, but thank you for bringing that news out now.
I'm just saying reports.
Rumors, yep. Quote-unquote rumors.
Yeah, I mean, the next 10 minutes are going to be absolutely crucial for this race. We might see the front three guys pit. If they pit, I can see Evil deciding, you know what, I've got the chance, I'm not going to lose places to Amaze and Bart. I'm just going to stick it out and see what happens.
Yeah, so Crusher's saying a stop is roughly 35 seconds, and, you know, he was saying, as soon as you said having a gap to pit, you know, I just realized they barely have a gap to pit. They're going to come up right behind Evil, and now that the track is starting to dry, you can look up into the sky, you can see some blue up there, because it's going to go back to heavy cloud for this last stint, this sort of last part of the race, as we enter roughly 10 minutes left in this race. And I did notice Agulator is gaining on Flaky a lot, and I know Flaky through the practice session, he was suffering on tire wear. I'm not sure if that's the same case.
Yeah, I mean, the McLaren the Porsche is a very good overall car with Porsche have been a rear-engine car, but the front engine, yeah, they've moved to the mid-engine with the newer Porsches, but front engine might. That was a pointless point.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I don't know what I'm on about. Evil looks like he lost a bit of time.
I just realized.
Or at least he's not gaining as much.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was closer than I thought, but yeah, Bart's not really putting up a big gap on high grade. It's quite interesting. And before the race, I was talking to Bart, and Bart was like, yeah, I'm going to battle with high grade. You know, I'm not having that swell of a ride at Sugo. And, you know, he's not wrong. He has battled them quite a few times. Good battles indeed.
Yeah, if I were Bart, I think I'd rather have the result like a tier 1 with last week with 9th in qualifying.
Yeah.
That was fantastic by him.
Yeah, he ended up beating you.
Yeah, right. We'll find out how you do next in a few minutes.
Here we go. 13 minutes left in this race. Agulator is close to the gearbox of Flaky. I mean, I think he'll be able to get a move done. Sugo doesn't have too many overtaking spots, and I know Flaky needs to defend to help his teammate, sort of with this championship lead that he's trying to build up, and Agulator is right now, I believe, does he have the championship lead, I think? Yeah, Agulator has a championship lead in third. 3 extra points over Matt, if I'm correct.
And Matt, yep.
Yep. We mean and Blizzard, because he didn't get any points this race.
Yep. Anyway, Agulator.
Oh my goodness, he's in the pits.
That's the story. I mean, maybe he just didn't want to be held up by Flaky and thought, you know what, let's go and try it.
So he feels like, yeah, he's been thing is, he's been gaining on Flaky. He's been gaining off of Evil as well. Why not build up the gap and then try and get through Evil again? And you know what? If I'm Evil, I'm going to start pushing right now because you may have a chance at a podium now.
I mean, if the slicks work, and they will long term, but for Agulator, but I'm not so sure about the early part. I mean, he'll struggle with the slicks. Especially with the wet pit exit. It's a very tight pit exit with a wall. So yeah, so let's see which one works, because I'm quite curious. Both Evil and Agulator pitted, and Evil built up such a good gap. He's already in the chicane, and Agulator's exiting the pits now. See how this car feels at the moment. I mean, the spray, maybe you've just gone for a set of wets, maybe.
So right now, this championship is tied.
I mean, if he went for a set of wets, he would have just thrown away any chance at the podium.
Yeah.
So you have to take the gamble.
We'll see. Hey, I'm not sure what he's trying to do, because I don't see Flaky or Matt pitting, and Evil wasn't going to catch you.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, with the spray, you'd think you wouldn't go for a set of slicks. Or he's on the soft tire, and they're not so bad.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see.
I mean, Fuji Season 2, we saw how as the rain came down, the hard tires just fell off a cliff, but the soft tires weren't so bad. And they could hold in, and that's how I lost so much time.
So yeah, so Crusher and H Racing Green are poking fun at Agulator's decision in the comments. I just want to point it out because Crusher did note that you do gain back 20 seconds at least through this when the track dries. And by the way, high grade's gone.
That's high grade.
Yeah. So now this is the crucial part of the race. 10 minutes left. This track will start to dry. It'll start to warm up, and it'll start to eat at those tires and make a dent on the tire wear. So this is Agulator's game now. And he's not too far behind Evil right now. He's only behind by 12 seconds, which is quite surprising. And to see how big it was, I thought he'd be up there. But at the same time, you know, I feel like he may be able to get back Evil. Maybe even gain on Flaky a little bit. These guys will start to struggle, the top two. Maybe even Evil, but he's on newer wet tires, so we're not sure.
Yeah, Evil's definitely on newer wet tires. I don't think he'll pit. Because if he does, he'll just lose far too much time. Plus, he's gaining on Flaky and Matt. We'll find out how quick those tires he's on are. If he's doing like sub-25s, that's definitely slick times.
Yep. So this is a good test to see what could go in Tier 1. We have roughly 9 minutes left. 3:21 here. Maybe in a couple minutes you could start up the Tier 1 lobby. Jake, in a couple minutes, not now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I wanted to see how this race pans out for the near future.
I mean, you could watch it off.
Agulator 25-1. That's. I feel like that's on the edge of new tires.
Maybe, but that time is only going to start to improve as the track dries for Agulator.
Yep. I mean, if it improves by a few seconds, there's nothing saying they can't get Evil. Looks like he's definitely attacking the curves more than they did the early.
He gained
conditions as well.
Gained 2 seconds that lap. Whether or not he has enough time to do that in the race sim, I think we got 31, 32 laps. I think that was with Nissan doing. I think he got 31, 32, or 33. So we may end up with that. We have 25 right now. We may actually end up with maybe 28 or 29, maybe even 30.
That's on the entry to that corner, but he's still stuck it in.
No spray there.
We're in the 28s. Yeah, there's not much spray there. If you stay on line, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's these type of corners which would be probably the worst when they're just under the trees to the right hand side here, to the left.
Gap is now 9 seconds.
Yep, 9.
Only a second there.
I don't think the gap between the McLarens is very interesting. Yes. Oh, 23.2. That's 5 seconds that last lap.
Yeah.
For the leaders.
Maze
I mean,
and...
that's 6 laps.
Yeah,
Near the
Maze
end
and
of the
Bart, by the
race.
way.
Yeah, Maze. Yeah, they're 5th and 6th.
Yeah, they were close. I think they're gaining on each other, but you know, just want to keep an eye on Agulator because he is a man on a mission right now. Entering the 5-minute margin, we will see if this will pay off.
Yeah, I think there's actually a chance he can win this race if it goes to like 32 laps. Plus, his tyres will going up to the sprite there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Thought I heard a car spin. I think that's just evil. Yeah, he's really close to evil now.
Yeah, I mean, find out if it was evil with the space. Yeah, I can see that graphic you pointed out earlier. Yeah, that probably was evil.
And gravel there. That's probably just from running wide earlier.
Yep. Yeah, some cars run wide there. I think Flaky did it earlier. For the final corner, we'll see how this car goes on this lap.
Yeah.
22.9.
My goodness, he's pushing it. Only 4 seconds behind now.
You know what? Watching this, I'd think about it. I'd definitely think about going for it. Because it looks like he's on slicks with the massive gap difference.
Very, very intrigued, yeah. Yep, there's Evil's car, so not too far ahead. Three seconds now, so when he crossed the line it was 4. Now it is less than 3 seconds.
Yep, he's just going to constantly gain, especially through corners like these.
Yeah, so while he may get by Evil, he's not going to make up the time that he was behind Flaky. I don't think so.
I think it's possible.
Maybe, if you can push the car and not even make a single mistake. But even then, if you're pushing the car, not making a single mistake, if you didn't pit, if I were Agulator, you would have passed Flaky by now. So even if he does make up the time when he did pit, I still think maybe not pitting would be the faster option, but, you know, harder on the tires.
Yeah, if
That's
you're leading, you
slow
definitely
entrance.
take the option of keeping your lead. If you don't lose anything, you might as well go and take a shot like Agulator is now.
Yep.
I mean, he's currently like 5-6 seconds faster than the cars in front.
Oh, that's interesting.
7.
Why did he go down to the inside?
Yeah, he's been
Whoa! Yeah, I'm not sure. He went down to the inside where the wet part of the track is.
He's done that all since he's pitted as well.
Well, no, yeah, to be fair, he's been doing that while he was on the wet tires. Now he's on the slick tires. Why would he go down to the bottom of the track where the track is already wet, and then he enters turn 1, and then he spins the car?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Maybe he's actually on new wets.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying the softs maybe were overheating. He had to go down to the inside, but it costed him.
Yeah, the softs are always got loose again. Yeah, I mean, if your softs are overheating, you try it, but...
Yeah. Everything's pretty much decided now. Do you want to,
Yeah, I'll go and set up the lobby.
Yep.
Hopefully nothing happens in the last few minutes. And...
Hopefully something happens, but... And Agulator spun again, so something did happen.
Oh, that's...
Yep.
Maybe his front tires were gone.
Yep, I think they're pretty much gone now. A little bit too early pitting on those softs.
I think the spins have just made them cold, if anything.
Yep.
Because he's just not going to stick to the dry line. That's a shame. Well, at least good on him for trying, though.
Yep. It was quite interesting. He almost made it work.
Yep, I'm going to head off. Thank you for having me, and I'll join James and...
No, you could stay in the party. You could stay in the party.
Oh,
Just get communication as well.
Of course.
We'll keep you in here a couple more times.
Yeah, you just don't like being lonely.
So where is Matt on the track? I think he's coming to his final lap, maybe? I think he's coming to 2 laps to go, maybe. I think that may be it. And we're at 28, yeah. So Tier 1 will be delayed a little bit.
Yeah, Tier 1's always been delayed anyway.
So I think he's coming to 2 laps to go. Oh, 2 laps to go for Matt. Crosses the line, managing that lead quite well. It's up to 13 seconds now. Flaky's in second, third as Evil, so Evil's going to get a podium on his return, which is quite funny because when Evil left, let's see if I can pull up the standings here. Evil did get a second at Algarve, or I should say Portugal, for the Portuguese Grand Prix, but after that, he got a 4th place in Donington and has not scored a point since, just like his teammate Tiger Kart. They both hopeless cars, they have not scored points since Donington, round 3. And ever since then, yeah, like I said, they haven't scored points. So now that Evil is back, he sits with 30 points in his total, and with 15, and hold on a second.
We've been getting this wrong with the entire race.
Flaky is stopped on the track.
Oh, that's...
Out of fuel. Out of fuel.
Oh, no.
So, Evil moves up to second, Agulator up to third, and Agulator takes over the championship lead.
Oh, dear.
He was hoping for one less lap. One less.
Yeah. If it was his non-teammate, I don't think Matt would have been too mad, but...
He needed him to stay in second, though. He needed it for the team, needed it for him to have a tie in the championship lead. But now Agulator has 3+ points.
Exactly.
And Bart may actually make up a move here.
Who on Agulator?
No, Bart on Maze for 4th.
Oh, nice.
The final lap now.
Another car to get...
Lap car, by the way, Matt is approaching Bart and Maze, so they're going to have to move over very shortly. Oh, and Maze is off. Bart takes a position, tagging Bart, but no contact, or at least nothing too detrimental. There was contact, it just didn't affect either of them. And now we lost Flaky, so Flaky will get credited for 6th place with 8 points to the total.
Lost you there, Aaron.
And I think we've lost Maze as well. That really gives Bart the position. So off the final corner, Matt comes through and takes the win. And it ties him with Blizzard in this championship. He is now tied for second as Agulator takes the championship lead for the first time this season.
Good. The championship fight.
What a way to finish it.
Hopefully we'll see a similar thing in Tier 2 in the next few races. Yeah, I mean, he drove a good race as well. He didn't seem to make many mistakes. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone... Yeah, see, people are going to follow the same way in the next Tier 1 race.
Yep. So that will be it for Tier 2, I mean. Thank you everybody so much for joining us. You will now see James and Jake in Tier 1. Not James Jake, no. James and Jake for Tier 1 commentary.
Yeah, we don't have a celebrity commentator.